Trailers are super important. I mean, they're what's supposed to sell you on a product, make you spend your hard-earned money and precious time on something that you hopefully won't regret. I love trailers, sometimes more than their final product. And specifically, I love confusing trailers. Every trailer needs a hook to get an audience's attention, and for many, that hook is just... what? To me, this is the most interesting thing a trailer can be. If you confuse me, then you have my attention. But, of course, there's good confusion and there's bad confusion, so what are some examples of each? I want to talk about some of my favorite confusing trailers and break down what I think works and doesn't work in them. Because why the hell not? I got nothing better to do. Now, in my view, there's three main types of confusing trailers. First is confusing but intriguing, and this is the gold standard. Trailers that spark the perfect amount of imagination without giving too much away. There's a lot of great trailers like this from recent years, but my favorite example has got to be Emio the Smiling Man. I really can't remember another trailer that sparked as much speculation as this one did. It was just a super short, simple teaser with a spooky trenchcoat baghead man, but it lit the Nintendo fandom on fire. Just the idea that Nintendo was making a horror game was enough to get people excited. It gave us so little and allowed our minds to run so wild that people were actually disappointed with the full reveal. Just 1 week after that initial teaser debuted, producer and co-writer Yoshio Sakamoto came out to reveal that it was a new Famicom Detective Club game. And everyone was pissed. Plenty of people were disappointed with the Famicom Detective Club reveal, wanting a more traditional horror game rather than a rigidly structured visual novel. I understand that. I was actually disappointed myself initially, but dude, if you haven't, you have got to play this game. It's a little slow in the opening hours, but I genuinely believe it is one of the best stories Nintendo has told in years. But anyway, there's no denying that initial trailer turned a lot of heads, and even if you were let down by the subsequent full reveal, I don't think you can deny the teaser put the game on a lot of people's radars and got them to check out a game they may not have otherwise. Little information, gets you curious, good trailer. Not too confusing though. The second category is what I'm calling needs a little bit more. It's for trailers that maybe rely a bit too heavily on confusion. And when it comes to confusing trailers, I don't think there's anybody who does it better or more consistently than Hideo Kojima. I love Kojima. He's one of my favorite creatives. No matter what he does next, I'm there for it. But his style is very easy to make fun of because it's so wordy, abstract, and very strangely horny. It's a style entirely his own, so when you see a Hideo Kojima trailer, it's quite easy to identify, especially since he usually edits them himself. He's made quite a few confusing trailers over the years, with giant flaming whales, babies in jars, and a truly shocking amount of naked Norman Reedus. I genuinely don't think anybody knew what kind of game Death Stranding was until a few months before it came out. But I looked forward to every new look at the game because they were just confusing enough to fit into the confusing but intriguing category. But I think easily his most confusing trailer has got to be OD. The trailer gives us actors, a weird poem or tongue twister, and a reason to care. You could make the argument that the trailer being so deliberate in its intent to obfuscate its premise and setting and gameplay style and literally everything makes it interesting enough to fit into the first category, but I don't know, man. I feel like this is too much nothing, even more so than Death Stranding's reveal. Also, the trailer doesn't even mention the fact that Jordan Peele is involved anywhere. That was only revealed live on stage after the trailer premiered at the 2023 Game Awards, which is strange to me, considering how much Kojima loves to let people know about all his famous friends. I mean, the trailer name drops 3 famous actors in addition to Kojima, so why not throw Jordan Peele in there? I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely gonna check it out just as a fan of the people involved, but what if they weren't? If this weren't a Hideo Kojima game, and none of these other famous people were attached to it, would anyone really be that interested? Would it turn any heads? With so little information, somehow I doubt it. I feel like the trailer mostly only survives off of name recognition, and plenty of trailers name drop their talent, but they usually give you a hook. You know, something beyond familiar faces to grab your attention. OD doesn't give you that, but I do think it sparks just enough intrigue to barely slip into the second category. This last scene does do a lot of heavy lifting, though. The last category I'm bluntly calling, you have to give me more information. Trailers with no hook other than, it's happening. This category encompasses most underwhelming initial reveal trailers, like those from Metroid Prime 4, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the new Perfect Dark. These trailers are more of a recruitment tool for the development studios, and not so much an advertisement for the general public, which is why they really only give you a title. But what if they didn't even give you that? If you tuned in to the 2024 Game Awards, I'm sure you have some recollection of this trailer that just kinda showed up and then vanished just as quickly. This is Fumito Ueda's Project Robot, and the only reason I know that is I checked the fine print. The trailer just ends without a title card or anything, just see you later, which makes it feel incomplete. But that's the end of the trailer, we're working backwards, so what does this trailer tell us about the game? Well, after the obligatory creator tease, there's this giant robot, its head rockets off, there's some sort of explosion. Pre-order now. This trailer is guilty of the same familiar name reliance that OD's trailer was guilty of, but this is far less forgivable in my eyes, because what are you supposed to take away from this? I mean, there's no denying that Fumito Ueda is an absolute powerhouse creative. All three of his directorial efforts are proof enough of that. But again, take his name away, and I don't think many people would be interested. I understand wanting to leave room for mystery and speculation, but you have to give me more information. I didn't learn anything about the world, this character, the gameplay. I got next to nothing. The trailer just ends, and I'm like, okay, thanks Ueda, see you again, and like, I don't know, how long did it take to make The Last Guardian? Jesus. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this trailer, but that's really just me. The fans ate it up. People have already dissected every single frame of this trailer, grasping onto any little thing that they can, because it excites them. They enjoy hunting for clues and speculating what might be in the game, and honestly, I can't blame them. The one thing you can say for every trailer I've talked about here is that they sparked a conversation, which ultimately should be the goal of any trailer. Just because I think some are lamer than others doesn't mean they're bad necessarily, it just means I'm pretentious and I like complaining. And I've done more than enough for today, so what are some of your favorite or least favorite trailers? Did you agree or disagree with anything I said? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, I really, really appreciate it. Side note, this is completely unrelated, but just to let the Metal Gear community know how proud I am of them, while I was editing this video, I wanted to get a track from Metal Gear Solid to put into it, so I just went on YouTube and looked up Metal Gear Solid soundtrack, and this was the first result. You're all terrible.